The Rising of the Shield Hero. This is a popular isekai anime that came out in 2019. However, this isn't just like a normal popular isekai, or at least in my opinion. This was one of the isekais that like pioneered the whole isekai boom. Because in today's age, you get like 20 isekais a season. And I feel like this was one of the animes that really pushed, creators to do that. Because don't get me wrong, right? Sword Art Online to me will always be the grandfather of isekai. However, it wasn't until we got animes like Slime, this one, Raise Zero, that we started seeing like a bigger push for them to be made. And to this day, I still see the influence that Shield Hero has on some of these newer isekais. But this anime didn't just have influence, like this was one of the most popular animes at the time. On Crunchyroll is rated a 4.7, and on my anime list is a 7.95, which I do believe that this was probably higher on my anime list a couple years ago. And I'm gonna explain why. But first, let's talk about the main question, the main reason why y'all are here. Is this an anime worth watching? Is this an anime that's worth your time? Is this something that you need to push up on your anime list? Or is it something that you can kind of push down or maybe not even watch at all? Now, I'm not gonna hold you, this is a very difficult one. It's hard for me to give like a decisive answer on this one. However, I don't like people who are wishy-washy. I want a solid yes or I want a solid no, okay? I don't want just like, yeah, but, or no, but, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna give that to you. After some reflection, I must say, this anime is not worth watching. And hey, man, I know. A lot of y'all are shook right now. If you watch this series, you're shook. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are kind of understanding. Because one of the biggest reasons to my decision is that for me to say if this anime is worth watching, the entire anime needs to be worth watching, not just a part. And with this one, Shield Hero 100% fell off. And I'm not the kind of guy that says, hey man, you know what I'm saying, you can watch season 1 was gas, but don't watch season 2, watch season 3, but like season 4 may be bad, but come back for season, you know what I'm saying, like, I ain't gonna do that to you. But with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and quickly go over the plot, the reasons why I like this anime, and the reasons why I don't like this anime. So, let's start with the plot. This is an anime about a dude named Naofumi that got transported into another world. He was in the library one day looking at a book, and then he got sent into the book he was looking at. And see, this is the reason why I don't go to libraries, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that to happen to me, you feel me? But he wasn't the only one that got summoned. Him, along with 3 other dudes, were brought into this new world as heroes that was meant to stop these demons that are attacking this country that they're now in. And so obviously they're not about to just, put their hands up, you know what I'm saying, square away with the demons. Each of them received a weapon. One got a spear, one got a sword, one got a bow, and our main character got the shield, which pretty much turned out to be the Joker, or the shortest stick in the straw. Because they welcomed the heroes to their country, they were all excited, praising them and everything, but once they found out that homeboy got a shield, oof, bro, they switched up hella quick. And that's because the one with the shield can't fight. He can only protect, which in my defense, that's still important, but to them, they want an all-attack build. And so now nobody wanted to be a part of his party and to help him, get stronger. That wasn't until this one girl named Malty stepped up. She was the only one that decided to go help the main character get stronger and to figure out how the world works. And so he started training, he was getting the lessons, he was starting to understand more of the world, and everything was perfect until, it wasn't. So after the training, Naofumi says goodbye to Malty and he decides to go to bed. But when he woke up, my man was under arrest. And so he's confused, he doesn't know what's happening, and then we find out that Malty set him up. She was claiming that, he was a dog, like he was touching her and all that kind of stuff, abused his powers as a shield hero, spewed a whole bunch of lies. She thought everything was good, but then he saw that smirk. He knew that she had set him up. She was never really trying to help him. She was really just there to take his money and give it to the spear hero. Nobody pretty much wanted to listen to what he had to say. Everybody was against him, and he can't even go back to his own world, so he's pretty much just cooked. And of course, word spread around, and my man's just down bad. However, he has to keep going on living, and my man's is fueled with revenge. He's the one to help nobody out. But with the shield, he can't really do too much. And so he's pretty much put in a position to where the only person that can help him out was a slave girl named Raptalia, and he pretty much has to train her to be his sword. And together, along with some other companions along the way, they have to fend for themselves while also attacking the demons that are coming through these waves, which honestly was the perfect revenge story. Because what an awful thing to do to a person like Malty. Oh my, I still hate her to this day. Whole revenge, everything made sense. That's what I loved about this anime, which let's talk about the positives. I love the fact that we get to see how and exactly why he became this angry of a person. Because a lot of animes these days, they'll have these characters be mean or angry just for the most basic reasons. Which I'm not trying to say, demons killing my family or whatever is basic, but that's like a regular story we hear. This one was different. We saw her and we were just as manipulated as he was when she betrayed him. And then how nobody wanted to help him, nobody cared about him. Perfect revenge story. He's hateful towards the world and literally everybody's trying to bring this man down. And also the things they have to overcome, because once people start seeing that he has Raptalia with them, they're trying to take her too. So the beginning of this story, in my opinion, is S tier. It was perfect writing. 100% love the character development, I love the world, and this isn't one of the most generic isekais where everything gets solved in one day. You see days and episodes of progress for him to get to a point where he can actually, put some work in. This anime had every right to be as popular as it was. However, let's talk about the negatives, because this anime story just fell. This has to be one of the hardest drops in a good ass story, because the first season of this anime was perfect. Okay, I loved every single moment, but then they went to the second season and then the third season, and when I tell you, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and that's because they forgot what really drew people into the show. What hooked everybody up with the show, including me, was that this man was angry, he wanted revenge, he was cruel, but he was still, putting in the work. He was still fixing the problems that the other heroes caused, and he was slowly gaining everybody's favor. So even though he had so much hate in the world, people were still loving him because he was helping them out, which is great for him, but it also feels like the author just brushed off the other characters, because in my opinion, the other heroes are bland. Like, they have nothing special with them going on. The one with the bow is smart, the one with the spear is arrogant, and the one with the sword is supposed to be like this cool, like quiet kind of guy, but there's no like character development or really any substance with those characters. And honestly, they just get in the way. Even though they have the strongest weapons in the whole show, it feels like they don't get any stronger at all. Like, I get the whole point of the shield heroes that he has to clean up after the heroes because they're just doing whatever, but it becomes a point where it's like the heroes are utterly useless. When a lot of the fights happen, it takes all three of them just to take on one, while Naofumi only needs him and his little crew. Like, it's almost like the author just ropes them in together as if they're just one character. And so while it's great to see the main character have very nice character development, you need to also have the other characters that are important to the story to have development as well. It just feels like they were just kind of like rushed or ignored, in which if an anime has bad characters, the plot is gonna suffer as well, which is exactly what happened. Instead of the shield hero doing his thing to kind of help out, it seems like everything had to be done by him or it wasn't gonna get done. If there's any monsters that showed up, only he can do it. Not anybody else in the show can have any sort of like not even get close to his power, along with the characters that are beside him, which at some point in this anime is very weird, but it starts to slowly just turn into a harem, because every single new person of his party is a girl, and that girl happens to have some sort of crush on their main character. As they're turning this more and more to a harem, they only focus on the relationships between the main character and their party, and it's just bad. The second season and the third season was just pure trash. The writing wasn't there, the heart wasn't there. For those of you who've seen Promised Neverland, it's almost like watching the first season. That was one of the craziest first seasons I've seen, and had me on the edge of my seat. But then the second season, washed. Like, they ruined the entire legacy in that second season, and that's exactly what happened to Shield Hero. You need more than just the main character to make a good story. So when you lose a story, you lose a show. Shield Hero, you can wait on it. You'll only find out that half the show is good, which means that you won't really see the ending because you probably are not going to stick that long for it. And with that said, if you guys are still here, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys haven't already, if you guys can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that would mean a lot. It's a free way to support the channel and lets me know that you guys want more. Plus, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and with the power of friendship, anything can happen. But see you guys next time. Stay weaving.